The cost of IT in business can be staggering. From hardware and software expenses to services like internet and phone, you don't need to spend a fortune on IT to succeed. If your organization spends more than $500 monthly on any service, or you're considering signing a long-term contract, IT Enabled can help you manage your technology and minimize your costs. Contact us today to schedule a free consultation. IT Enabled, we're here to help.
Erin, we're thrilled to have you. Thanks for joining us on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. So you have a brand new role. It seems brand new. You've probably been there longer than I can think in my head that you've been there. But why don't you give the listeners a little bit of your background history? Where'd you grow up, and then how'd you get over to where you're at today?
Okay, sure thing. So I grew up in League City,
Okay.
down in Houston.
Yeah.
So really close to Galveston. I spent most of my childhood growing up on the beach and all that stuff. So
Nice.
got kind of salt in the soul. And I moved up to SFA to go to college. And I fell in love with the area. I met my husband, Josh, here. And we just decided to stay and plug into the community. And in 2009, we moved to Lufkin
Okay.
and started seeing a huge change in the community, all for the good. So it's been really exciting to go through that. And so my degree is in art education. I'm
Okay.
fully certified in art and theater, all level education. And I spent about 15 years teaching before I got my position at the museum.
Nice.
I've done everything from substituting long-term to building programs at Piney Woods Academy to working in public education at Lufkin High School. So I've kind of
Nice.
seen the gamut of everything in this area as far as education is concerned.
That's great.
So we've talked about it on the podcast before, but just for people who may not be familiar with it, tell us a little bit about the museum.
So the Naranjo Museum of Natural History is a really unique collection of artifacts. Most museums have a lot of replicas. The Naranjo Museum, because Dr. Neil Naranjo is fascinated by paleontology, it is full of things that he has found in his travels. He goes out searching for dinosaurs. So we have a large collection of 10 dinosaur fossils that are real, that you can come and see anytime and learn from. And so the museum was started as a private institution in 2012, and it gained its nonprofit status in 2019. And so it is now run by a board of directors, and it is really seeing a lot of growth, and that's something that we're going to kind of get into a little bit more today.
That's great. That's something that I think is interesting. So a lot of people, you think of the fossils, and so many of them around the world are just replicas, right? They're just cast of other ones that are similar. So to be able to see real fossils is a kind of unique thing, huh?
Oh yeah, because it is expensive to send people out to go find fossils.
Sure.
It's hard to find that, there's just not a lot of dinosaurs to find.
Right.
And you have to know where to look. So there's so much that goes into it. So to have this many real collection on display is something that's very unique. A lot of museums will have real fossils, but they won't display them because temperature plays a factor in how they're taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
It requires almost constant maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
They're very delicate. They're millions of years old.
Sure.
So it takes a lot to keep them in good order.
Very cool.
For those that have never been there, when they walk in, what is the first thing they're going to see? Because I just think for us to have a museum of this caliber in Lufkin, Texas, it's pretty amazing. So for the listeners that have maybe never walked through the door, what's the first thing they see when they walk in?
Oh, it's so special. The first thing you're going to see when you walk in the doors is you're going to see a robotic T-Rex skull that will open and close its mouth. We have a lot of robotics in the museum, dinosaur skeletons that are replicas that move though, so you can kind of see that sort of thing. And then you're going to see the crown jewel of our collection, which is Marianne Hadrosaur, named after Dr. Neil's wife. But she is what is called a prototype. She is almost completely real, and she actually has fossilized skin, tendons, and a complete foot that you can see. This is not something that you can see even going outside of Texas. So this is an incredibly important discovery.
If I remember correctly, it was on their dining room table for a long time. And Marianne said, if you don't put this somewhere else, we're going to have a problem. And that's how the museum was built.
That's exactly it. It's so funny to, have a lifelong collector go, okay, well, we've run out of space in the museum that is our house. So now we're going to build this museum for everyone to be able to see these things. And that's another thing that's important about what the museum's doing is educational outreach. Dr. Neal and Marianne both believe very strongly in educating the community and sharing their collection with everyone here.
Well, it's just beautiful. You also have great stuff going on during the summer. You've got summer programs. So let's talk about summer camp.
Oh, yeah, man. And that's, I came running from summer camp to be here today. We've got 8 weeks of summer camp programming. It started at the very end of May. And we are about halfway through. We're on week 5, so we're over the over the midway hump. And I teach everything from junior paleontology, which is a deeper dive for older kids. We do science, technology. We pair all of this with art so that they learn by doing. They spend time every day in the museum, and that's something that the kids love. They just can't get enough time looking with their friends, looking at the dinosaurs, looking at other things, because we have more than dinosaurs. We have artifacts from human history. We have space age technology, things like that. We've got things from the space shuttle, the Columbia disaster, as well as the space shuttle Atlantis. So we have a lot of stuff that you really can't see.
You have a beautiful
everywhere.
Indian collection as well.
Oh, yes, a lot of that. And that is part of Dr. Neal's family collection of heirlooms. So he's got a long history. And then working with the Caddo Nation and the Alabama Coshada as well. So there's a wide variety of things that you can see. And then we try to change up summer camps every year. So we're trying to reach as many kids as possible in this area with as many different varieties of educational programming as possible. So this year we're doing some fun things like Shark Week. We did STEAM camp, which is science, engineering, technology, mathematics, and art. And we're even doing Weather Week, which I think is even more appropriate this week since we just went through the Hurricane Beryl. But the kids are going to learn how we can tell what's going on with the weather, weather patterns, all sorts of things. So it's just to add a little bit of flavor.
That's great.
I love that. And these camps fill up quickly. So put it down. So when this comes out, we'll kind of be past that. But next year, people can put it on their calendars. Make sure you register. I think that's true of all of our camps here in Lufkin.
I start looking for camps in January.
Yes, you got to get it. You got to get in there, or you will miss out.
Yeah,
if you want your
this is
kids to
definitely
go.
one you don't want to miss.
Yeah,
I know Annalie has enjoyed Dino Camp over the years.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, but you also do things during fall and spring break. So it's not just summer camps that y'all also do.
Oh, that's right. And this is something that's brand new. This is something that I brought in when I started with the museum. We did what are called spring and fall mini camps. So I feel strongly that one of the museum purposes is what I like to call flex education. So even though kids are on, say, spring break, or even with Lufkin ISD, we have a fall break now. This is still a chance for parents to put their kids in a place where they're going to be getting education from a certified educator, and so they're not just going to a daycare.
Yeah.
They're getting real educational experience.
That's great.
And so we have that coming up in our first fall mini camp will be in October. And so that'll be the week, and I don't have the calendar in front of me, but it'll be the week of...
I think it's the second week of October.
I think it is.
Yeah, second week.
I had looked at the schedule, but...
That's okay. I don't even know what today is. So
Right.
Let alone what's happening in a couple of months.
So the museum is expanding as well. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, yes. We've actually started giving talks to some of the other local organizations. In fact, when you walk into the museum, you can see our expansion plans. We just got those back from an architect, and we presented those at our big fundraiser gala, Dancing with Dinos, so you can see what the plan is. And the plan is it's going to be a multi-phase approach, and we're going to start with a dinosaur-themed playground.
Oh, cool.
This is something that our community really needs, is a well-cared-for playground. It's going to also have some kind of water feature, so either a fountain that kids can play in or a splash pad.
Nice.
Again, it's all going to be dinosaur-themed. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then once we've got that in place, we're going to start the next phase, which is going to be a 3-level building. One of the exciting problems that we have right now is we have more dinosaur bones than space. And that is a unique and very exciting problem. So to continue to expand and even build the dinosaurs that we have in storage that we can't put out.
They're on Marion's dining room table again.
Just about. We are going to be building a 2-level museum, and the third final level is going to be sort of an entertainment space, and that'll be just at the tree line. So this will be a way for us to generate income for the museum and to continue
That's great.
to build these programs.
That's gonna be fantastic.
That's awesome. I love hearing about that, and it is such a just jewel for us to have a museum like this. And it was actually, I went to it pretty late in life. Like I don't remember going to it as a kid. It may not have been around when I was a kid. I don't remember, but I was an adult for the first time I went there, and I was blown away. And I was like, the 10-year-old in me was extremely excited, and so was the 25-year-old in me when I was there. But some of the things that we got to see, it's a really, really phenomenal place.
Oh yeah, and a lot of our displays right now are really geared towards much older children as well as adults. It's very there's lots to read, so it's not very interactive yet, but we're working on some really exciting new things. We've partnered with SFA. We get interns from SFA and Angelina College.
That's
so
great.
We're kind of reaching out in the community there, but we really want to focus on children for this first part of the expansion, so they have a place to play. You bring a kid into a museum, and my kids are 4 or 5 years old, so they want to be able to touch everything, and you can't touch everything.
Right.
So having a place for them to kind of blow off some steam while they can still come and go in the museum is going to be really important.
That's
And
awesome.
you do a lot of school tours, so if schools are interested in doing that, they can just contact you.
We do, yes. We offer special pricing for school tours,
Okay.
And this last year, I reached out to every school in Region 7, and we've had a record number of schools coming in. A lot
That's
of
great.
places just didn't know about us, and so that's one of the pushes is to get people to know that we're here,
Right.
and what we can offer. So we offer TEKS for teachers to
Cool.
help with their curriculum, so we can put things together to work with the teachers. We can do guided tours. We do guided tours all the time. And then we also have scavenger hunts, and this is something fun for kids to learn that much more about the collection.
That's
I
awesome.
love it. So tell us about admission, about memberships, about coming to the museum for people who haven't attended. How does all that work?
So we offer, our admission price is $8 for adults and $5 for children ages 4 through 18. So we try to get the full, we push it as far as we can, and children 3 and under are free.
Cool.
For school tours, we offer free admission for teachers and school staff, and it's only $5 a student to get in.
That's great.
That gives them a chance, and that includes, we don't charge extra for guided tours. We don't charge extra for TEKS guidelines for their curriculum, and we don't charge extra for you to do a scavenger hunt. We offer memberships, family memberships, VIP memberships, things like that. It gives you discounts in the museum store, which is something that we've completely revamped, and we've seen record sales since that's happened. That's another way that we support the museum programming. So you get in free. We've done, and that membership is great, especially this summer, because we've been doing story time in the museum for kids of all ages. And so we have a teacher come in and read stories on Fridays throughout the summer. You can just bring your kids in, enjoy the story, and then you get to touch a real fossil, and then you get to look around at the collection. So
Nice.
we're really kind of trying to reach as many people in the community as possible.
And you do a great fundraiser, Dancing with the Dinos, every year.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of fun. This last year we had record attendance. We had over 250 people come out. We're hoping for even more next year. Our next year, 2025, it will be at the beginning of February. So those dates will go out very soon.
Cool.
And so, yeah, it's just, we got good food, great dancing, and it's just a fun time.
That's great.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming and chatting with us. We absolutely love the museum. And for anyone who hasn't been to it, make sure you go check it out, become a member, support it, send your kids to the camps. Make sure you do that well in advance before they fill up. And we appreciate your time. And we appreciate you listening to the podcast again this week. We truly appreciate all the support from everyone who listens and tunes in. And if you'll do us a favor and rate and review the podcast wherever you're listening, it helps other people in our area that like this type of content find out about the podcast. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.